Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 5, pretty sure it's 5, of Dead Knitter Society, Knitting and Grieving. My name is Mira. If you enjoy these videos talking about processing grief through knitting, then please hit like, hit subscribe. If you feel really fancy, you can even turn on that little bell thing to find out when I actually post another one, because scheduling is not yet my jam, and that's fine. So for episode 5, we are delving into that hashtag holidays are weird. It is a week away from Christmas. Today is December 18th. It is also my brother Steve's birthday. Happy birthday, Steve-O. It is weird to me that I am not popping over to say hi to Mom and ask her if she's talked to Steven yet. Everything about this holiday season is just weird. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my voice here. But we did, you can see Baxter, you can see all the holiday schmutz, etc. on my couch. And we got our tree done, and my middle child, my son, Bridger, it was important to him that all 5 of us be present. And in blended families and college students, it can be tricky to figure that out, but we scheduled it out and decorated our tree last night, even though it's been up with lights on for about a week. And that was really nice. It was really lovely to have all the kids together. Typically, so every year I give them an ornament. And that is because in 1998, I spent my first Christmas in my own apartment, and I did not have any ornaments. And so one of the ornaments on our tree is this little plastic CVS 1998 ornament. Because that's what I grabbed a few ornaments to do a really pathetic little tiny table tree. And I was very sad. So I really wanted for my kids to leave their childhood home with a box of ornaments. And so pretty much every year they've gotten an ornament since I think I started doing this the year I got divorced. So they have a sizable box of ornaments now. And one of the things that I did for this year's ornament was I actually had ornaments made with pictures of each kid with their grandmother. And normally we wouldn't open those up until stockings, the night before we have our Christmas. But this year I really wanted Mom to be around the tree longer. So we did that when we decorated, and they liked them. It was really, it's all so bittersweet. And bittersweet is such a weird word. I'm having trouble with the sweetness still, but that's okay. So what am I wearing that I've knit? This is, I'm pretty sure it's called Sweet Leaves. It is a Joji Locatelli pattern. I will need to check my Ravelry, but I will link to Ravelry. I knit this a fair long time ago, probably close to 10 years. It is in the Road to China from the Fiber Company, their Road to China Light, which has some cashmere in it. The sheen, there's a slight halo-y. I love this yarn. It is so soft. It's right next to my skin, and there's no itchiness whatsoever. And this is short sleeve tee with a very large cabled cowl neck. And then it has a little scoop back here. I just picked up, I think technically this is a sport weight, but on Ravelry, I went in, I don't know if you're aware of this, but people sometimes sell yarn on Ravelry. And I will often, if I'm in love with a yarn, go in and see what is being offered on Ravelry, because you can frequently find a pretty good deal. And you can also find yarns that are maybe discontinued or not offered anymore. I'm having a current obsession with Hue Loco. Hue Loco dyed my star sign sampler. Beautiful, beautiful hand-dyed yarn. This is a colorway that is not being offered on their website anyway, called Abalone. And I was thinking if I can adjust the gauge or just do the math to make it in the correct size at a proper gauge to get good fabric with this, I think that this yarn in something simple like this, either that or I was looking at the Summer Sorrel. I think that's a woolen pine pattern. But anyway, as if I don't have enough yarn that is waiting to be knitted. I make no excuses. That is a pile of joy. It's kind of like emotional support book towers. It's a pile of joy. So I pulled out this sweater that Mom made. Mom probably finished this at least 20 years ago, possibly longer. I think I was out of the house, maybe. Mom is wearing this in one of the pictures that I put on my stepdaughter's ornament this year. So I think I've showed you the gray version of this sweater. I don't know how she did this, but she put in, I think it was an afterthought pocket. Look, Ma, it has pockets. But this, again, y'all, no written pattern. Out of her brain. So amazing. And then look, I think it must have been an afterthought pattern. But look at the float tidiness of this stranded color work. Like, this is skills. Amazing. And I feel like the rest of it she did in garter stitch. But then with the really cool, beautiful graphic pattern. Now, the thing with this sweater, when I was going through Mom's clothes, you know, I was washing things, and this one, even though I'm fairly certain it has a lot of acrylic in it, it also has enough yarn that some moths got to it. I don't know if you can see the 2 holes that are in there. So one of the things that I want to do, I am currently on break. I am exactly halfway done with my master's degree. So I have 3 weeks off. This is the longest break I get all year. So I'm hoping I got one of those little darning kits that has like, not just the darning egg, because like my idea of darning the entire time I've been a knitter has been stolen by, I think it's Clara Parks, or no, maybe Stephanie McPhee. It might be the Yarn Harlot, where when you're darning something, you just open the garbage and hold the garment over it and then drop it in and say, oh, darn. That's been me, but I obviously am not doing that method with this sweater. So I did buy myself a little, it looks like a little mini pin loom, and you just kind of put it up in here and then you can like recreate some fabric. I'm not going to be able to mend the holes in pattern, but I'll at least make sure the structural integrity of the sweater, that it doesn't unravel and that, you know, it can be worn again. Because I adore this. I think it's so beautiful. Look at that. Amazing. So that is a thing that Mom made. So that's that section. I've showed you what I'm wearing. Progress for what I have been working on, and I'm actually about to leave to go to a friend's house for a little crafting night. I am making really good progress on this sleeve for my Sizzle Pop sweater. I stole a tip from Cinema Knit, who is also on YouTube. Thank you, Sophie. She is out of the UK, and everything she says in her videos is insightful and correct and super relatable, particularly, I think she's slightly younger than I am. As an elder millennial, I'm actually in Gen X, but late diagnosed ADHD, very, very relatable content for my demographic. Thank you, YouTube algorithm, for throwing me her video when she had like 100 subscribers, and now it's grown. But I was there when she showed me that in order to count the decreases for a sleeve, just pop in the claspy stitch markers. And because I did a stitch marker advent calendar, I have a lot of them. This is so much easier than the way that I was trying to keep track before. It's super visual. I did realize that one of these repeats actually has an extra row, but that's fine. I'm just going to replicate that. One extra round of knitting is not going to ruin my sleeve, but I am going to do it on the other side. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 4 more decreases to do before I get to the cuff, like the patterned cuff. So 4 more decreases is like 30 more rounds of knitting for this sleeve. And then I will start on the other ones. So we're not doing something asymmetrical. But I'm actually super motivated to finish this. I am rarely a monogamous knitter, but I have been only knitting on this because I really want to finish it because I want to wear it. I'm loving everything about this right now. So here is the little try on that I did before I started the sleeve. Somebody actually commented that I should just leave it as a short sleeve, but I'm very excited about that cuff. So even though I think this does look like fire, and maybe I will use this construction to make another garment that is short sleeved in this way, I am super excited to knit the sleeves and to wear this as a long sleeve one. Also, by the way, never mind our clutter. Our house has 0 closets. It was never meant to be a residence. So here you go. Real talk. Sizzle Pop sweater, designed by Knit Graffiti, Leslie Ann Robinson, and the yarn is Purple Lamb Fiber Arts. And I'll put those down below. Okay, Advent. Let's talk all things Advent. The first thing is we are going to have a little bit of maybe music if I can figure out how to put music over my videos. Because I have some pictures of like the last week or so. Because I haven't showed you where we are with stitch markers in a while. But I did open today's, which was 18. And I'll show you the rest of them. I took some pictures. So today's are just like cute, simple little ones. I did have a small sad face that one of the stitch markers that I put on my sweater actually snagged part of the yarn. So I have to be a little bit careful with that. That's okay. And I have started organizing the ones that I'm getting into like just circle ones that don't have a clasp. And then the lobster claw clasp. Look at how cute that little sweater is. Cannot even. And then the ones that are like the round circle clasp. So I've been trying to keep those organized. Now, when we talk about, I understand that as a parent, I'm biased. I'll put that out there. But my oldest child just turned 21 this past weekend. And I got to celebrate with her. I'm always grateful when my kids choose to include me in their lives.
I'll just note here that I said that they're all teenagers, frankly, but like, actually the oldest is a grown-ass drinking-aged adult, and the other two are teenagers.
But the adult, it is a choice for her to engage with me. And I always feel deeply, deeply grateful that we have a relationship that is as wonderful and fun. And I love being the parental advisory committee. So I had mentioned to her kind of offhandedly that I was wanting to do this Advent thing because it was something that my mom had done for me and I wanted to bring it back to kind of keep her in the holiday. And so my daughter, when she got home from college last week, she surprised me with a wool Advent. And she was super sweet. Like, I understand there are indie dyers who do absolutely gorgeous themed fade Advents. They're spectacular. I also know that for a college student who's working her tail off, that the price point of an indie dyed Advent calendar may not be achievable. So she got me something that was meaningful and wonderful. But when she gave it to me, she was like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. The quality isn't very good. I almost like died of, oh my God, don't ever denigrate the gift that you give, because to give a gift is, you're giving a piece of yourself, you know, you're like saying, I thought of you, this is special, here's this thing, you know. It's like my cat paraded through our house with a mouse in his mouth. I actually will say, ew, put that away. But it was his gift to me. This is much better than a mouse, particularly Isabella, if you're watching. I don't think you're watching, but if you are watching, this is not a mouse. I have not actually started opening this because my kids didn't get their Advents until last night when we started decorating, because blended families, college students, blah, blah, blah. So I am going to start opening this. I should probably catch up and at least get so that 12 days will start on Christmas, and that way I can finish it on the Epiphany, January 6th, which is actually also my birthday. And honestly, this is not, there's definitely some acrylic in this. This frankly feels like something my mom would have knit with. But here's where the magic is, guys. Folks, I don't want to be exclusive. What I think I can do, particularly because we talked last time about how I'm going to be a wingnut, and instead of making full-sized sweaters out of the Knitter's Almanac next year, I am going to make soft boiled egg koozie sweaters. I am thinking I'm going to weigh this and do a little bit of like magic math to figure out yardage. But I feel like these could be kind of perfect to use for these projects. And that way, that's like this big amalgam of, I think that was the right word, like this big cohesive momism, like learning to knit like mom out of an Advent, which was a mom tradition. Like it feels holistic to me. So yeah. So hey, why don't we'll open up day one, which is a lovely little gray, which I actually kind of like with this blue. So maybe I'll do like a striped sweater. I think the first month is actually an Aran sweater, God help me. I'm gonna make a little mini egg Aran sweater, y'all. It's gonna be spectacular. But maybe I'll do the sleeves a different color. We'll make it work. So we have day one. This lovely fun gray. Sorry, that crinkling is probably bad. Also, you probably hear my dog's collar jangling around. What's day two? This is fun. Oh, we have more pink. This feels like this has a different feel to it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. No more crinkling. Sorry, bad crinkle. But anyway, my grateful heart. Even though there's a lot of pain in this holiday season, my kids bring me a lot of joy. I'm very lucky in that. And I mean, in all of the work I've been doing around processing grief is love. It is all of the love you can't give anymore, but it's still love and it's there. So before I start crying, I am thinking that I'm going to actually do a few videos that are like not part of the knitting and grieving like series, because I kind of want to get it out there. Like I want to put down goals for next year. Obviously the Almanac project, that may be its own video series. Mom has so many knitted things. I can do this knitting and grieving and showing you mom stuff for a while. But I also want to look at, what do I have in the stash? What do I have in my queue? I feel like I told you this last week. I definitely need to, like, I know some people plan out their knitting years. I don't have the next 5 days planned out. I really pretend. That's that whole ADHD thing. I have a paper planner that I obsessively like put everything in. Because if it doesn't go in there, it's gone, it's lost. And it also gives me the illusion of having any kind of control over my life. So, but I do want to give myself like some goals. I want to keep up with the monthly project, and I definitely want to go through my stash. I need to go through Mom's stash because I told my dad I would do that. And then I want to kind of like see what's in my queue, what I have bought yarn for. I think this year may be the year that I actually, like, after December 31st, I'm not going to buy yarn. I want to knit down the stash a little bit. I do. And I definitely want to do at least like one garment that is like mommed. I want a mommed garment that I'm like, oh, look at this beautiful yarn. I'm going to make something. So that will be a goal for 2025. And I also need to finish Mom's unfinished project and turn that sweater into a pillowcase. My nephew's birthday is in February that she was making the sweater for. So I think that is going to be my target date to finish that. So we'll see. Look out for, because you obviously, I know that when you liked and subscribed to Debt Knitter Society, hi, my name is Mira. When you liked and subscribed, you also hit that announcement bell so that you'll know when the next video comes out, and then I can like blather at you about some other things and not just cry about missing my mom. So anywho, I need to get on the road because I'm a very fortunate human being having friends who also love crafting and will put up with me, however disjointed I am, from these very difficult approaching holidays. Yeah. It's definitely one of those things where, like, I expected it to be really challenging, but I was not prepared for how challenging. But I really appreciate that you're here and listening to me blather and giving me the space to, you know, talk about Mom and her amazing art. Because that's how we keep people with us. And that's how our legacies go on, is being remembered and being talked about. And that is really profound to me. So thank you for being a part of it. All right, y'all, I am going to sign off. Again, like, subscribe, and press the bell so that we can see how this develops in the new year. But as always, I'm so deeply grateful for you for listening, and we will talk again soon. Be well. Go love.